All right. We are live, so then we'll watch the viewers go up. Welcome, welcome everyone. I'm gonna give everyone a few minutes to get on and we'll get started. All right, for the sake of awkward silences, we'll go ahead and get started. Thanks so much for getting on today to the DFG team call. It's every Tuesday at 12 p.m. So I appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day. But it's so fun to just have like a midday pump of energy and a feeling of like, dude, I can do this. I got this. I don't need to overthink it so much. I just need to do and take action. And today we have Erin Shue talking about just the basics, man, just the simple things that we need to do in order to reach our goals, which everything is wrapped around Success Club. If you're new, you'll learn that. If you've been here a minute, you know that. So I am excited to just hear what she has to say. I think that is something that we all need to hear over and over and over. And it's the first day of the month, so it's a perfect time. What I love about Erin is she is a self-starter. She just came into this business. She wasn't added to any training groups right away. She wasn't added to a challenge group until she saw her coach posting for one, inviting to one, and she was like, wait, maybe I should be in that or doing that. But she was doing things anyway. So I love that about her. She is a Success Club 5 All-Star. In April, she'll be a Success Club 10 All-Star, which means she has gotten Success Club 10 for 12 months come April. That is what we are going for. That is not a lot of people do that in the network. So we are, we're lucky here to have Erin talking to us. So I'm going to go ahead and mute myself, turn it over to her. Erin, thank you so much for being on.
Hey guys. Well, like Lindsay said, I've ran businesses from the time me and my husband got married. So I was running a business and started as a discount coach. I had no intention of ever doing anything with this business. Just, I knew I needed to lose weight, so I signed up for the discount. And then I saw what, was sharing on Facebook a little bit here and there about what I was eating, because before Beachbody, I took pictures of Olive Garden food or whatever food and posted it. So I was taking pictures of my food, and I had friends come to me. And then that's how I got started. Is I had people ordering challenge packs from me, a couple, and then I'm like, whoa, I can, make this into a business. And that's when I started looking into trainings and things like that. So I'm going to go over goals and inviting and following up and how I do that, what my invites look like, and just to give you guys an idea. The first thing is each month I set a goal. because if we don't have a goal and a date on it, it won't happen. Like, it's just a dream that's out there and, you know, it won't happen. So every month, Success Club 10 is non-negotiable. When I was hitting Success Club 5 the first couple months last year, Success Club 5 was my goal. As soon as I bumped it up to 10, I hit 10. So 10 is non-negotiable, and I challenge all of you to make 10 non-negotiable for your business. There's so many benefits for that. Just, you know, search out the lead program and you'll see tons of different benefits for that. And in my husband's business, 5 is non-negotiable, 10 is what we shoot for. But, you know, 5 is for sure non-negotiable in his as well. Then I break those goals down into weekly goals. So I have my monthly goal, but how am I gonna get to that in a week? In a week, my goal is to help 2 people. So I'm gonna help 2 people with a challenge pack, start their business or become a challenger. And then that, you know, that equates to Success Club 16, so you're gonna get to your goal. And what happens if one week I only help 1 person? Well, the next week I'm gonna help 3 people. So, you know, I'm reevaluating goals. But then there's some months where, okay, it's mid-month and you've hit your goal. Well, don't stop, set a new goal. And then how do I find those 2 lives a week? So I share, I invite, I host events, and I follow up. And I'm gonna break all that down. But basically, sharing on your Facebook page, go to your Facebook page after this call and just check it out. Would anybody know that you can help them with their health and fitness? Would anybody, you know, and not beach body pictures at all. Like pictures of you, your face, your food, you know, things that add value, things, ask questions of your market, you know, of your friends. You want to always ask questions. And then I invite at least 10 people a day. The power hour, I think, set, you know, 3 people a day, but I've found that 10 people a day and shooting for at least 50 a week will, you know, get me to my goals. And let me look at my notes real quick, sorry. But I also share, when I go back into sharing, I also share from my personal development. When you're reading your personal development, there's usually at least 1 quote. Sometimes I'm highlighting like 5 or 6 quotes from that. And, you know, I'll write the page numbers down so I can remember if there's a day that I didn't have a quote, I can go back to a previous day. When you invite like you're talking to your best friend. So I invited my best friend and I went back to that invite and I said, that's how I need to invite everybody. You know, it'll sound more personable. It will sound more like you. So one of my invites to one of my best friends was like, we had already been talking, so this was more like a follow-up. And I was like, hey, Stephanie, when are you ever going to join me? And, you know, so that was my follow-up with her. It wasn't this, you know, I don't know if you saw that last message. You know, it was just, that's how I am. I'm really direct and to the point. So I said that to her, and that really made me realize that I should invite like I'm talking to my best friend. Before I invite, some tips I have are kill your newsfeed. If you use Google Chrome, you can add the Google Chrome extension, just search kill your newsfeed, and you won't see anything while you're inviting, and turn your chat off. So while you're inviting, how many, if you're gonna shoot for 10, go ahead and turn your chat off, invite those 10 people, and then go back to the people who have messaged you back. That way you can get your invites done and not get into a conversation. And those people can wait, you know, 10 minutes while you shoot out those invites. And I invite 10, I already said that, sorry. I'm skipping ahead to my notes. And who do I invite? Okay, you can print off your friends list. So if you go into your account settings, you can download a copy of your Facebook data, and it will email you a copy of all your data, your photos, your, you know, I think it even does some of your statuses, but it has a friends list in the zip file. So you click that and either print it or copy and paste it into Excel, and you can go through there and decide who's your hot market, warm market, and more of your, because we do have some cold market people we've never talked to on our friends list. So I kind of group them by that. And the other thing I do is when I add people to my friends list, I add them to a list on Facebook so I can interact with them. But I'm not going to go into that too much. And make sure you track your invites. Track who you're inviting, who you followed up with, anybody you've added when you're friend requesting, when you're forming, track all that. I just use pen and paper. I have always a notebook right next to me with a list of what I'm gonna do that day. And then I use the Ultimate Power Hour, which is I have a monthly plan, I have a weekly plan, I have all my invites, I have my friends list printed right here. All of that is what works for me. I tried Asana and it worked great for a couple months, but then I got overwhelmed with it. So then I had to find something new that worked for me. And what works for one coach, they might have this awesome thing that works for them, might not work for you. So just find what works for you to track your business activity. And I'm gonna go ahead and share some of my sample invites, and I'll comment in DFG under the picture of the post with these, so don't feel terrified that you have to write it all down. So my first one that I use sometimes is I wanted to reach out to you about something I'm so excited about. I'm an online health and fitness coach. I have lost 65 pounds and I am doing a special Moms Get Fit boot camp to help my friends and myself stay accountable to reach our health and fitness goals. If I gave you the details to read over, would you be willing to check it out and see if it's a good fit? Always end your invites with a question, and I always start with a compliment. So usually like a compliment would be, I will go look at their news feed and see, or on their page and see what they've been posting. Like, did their kids have swim lessons last night, you know, and say something about swim lessons, or, you know, talk to them about what they're gonna do for spring break, and then invite them. Another invite I use is, hey, how are you? I really hope you don't mind me messaging you about something like this. I'm running an online fitness boot camp at the end of the month to help people really stick to their health and fitness for the new year. I already have a bunch of people on board, but I wanted it to be a great group. If I gave you the details to read over, would you be willing to check it out and see if it would be a good fit? I end all of my invites with that now. Because that is, and I'm trying to think of that book, but I think it's GoPro, the Eric Worre's book, that gives you, you know, this is, you ask them if this will be a good fit, and then you send them the information, and then you set a date to follow up with them. And my last one that I send is a really short and sweet one. And I have an online health and fitness group here on Facebook starting next week, and I wanted to invite you. Would you like to learn more about the group? And that one's, you know, really short and sweet. And what I found is make your messages short. No one's gonna read this 3-paragraph message that you send them. Then when they say yes, sometimes you're like, oh crap, what do I say now? I mean, that happens to me too. And first, just breathe. You don't have to respond within seconds. Just breathe and collect your thoughts. You can help them. You have the tools to help them. So I say, awesome, Ashley. Can you tell me a little bit about where you are at now and what your health and fitness goals are? Because that'll tell you, and a lot of times my market will say, where I'm at right now is fat. And I'm like, you know, and where I want to be is I want to lose 50 pounds. So, because that's who I attract, is moms who are overweight with lots of kids, because I have 4 kids. Then chat about their nutrition, chat about their struggles. You know, you want to ask them, you know, well, how's your nutrition right now? Since you want to lose weight, have you been doing anything to change your nutrition? What do you struggle with your nutrition and fitness? You know, get the conversation going so you can be able to help them with everything. Don't lead right into the challenge pack. And then, let me find my notes, sorry. And while 21 Day Fix is a great workout, and I love 21 Day Fix, that doesn't work for everyone. I had friends that came to me, and he was my husband's best friend, and it worked 21 Day Fix was great, but, he was more body-based type of guy. So, you want to find out what they have done in the past and what will work and get a good match for them. Then I use the Coach Mobile enrollment form, and I send them the link, because some people don't get the email or they can't find the email. So I send them an email and say, I sent the email to look over, but here's the link to look over all the details as well. And a lot of my market will end up just clicking on the link. And don't forget to do challenge group invites by posting. There's a great file in DFG of sample challenge group invites and Transformation Tuesday, Throwback Thursday, Fearless Friday, coach shout outs, challenger shout outs. Like, sometimes my brain explodes with the amount of things I could post, and then I write it down. And I know I've heard that some top coaches even have a pen and paper on their nightstand, because of 10 o'clock at night, they're going to bed and their brain will explode with everything they should post. And then I'm going to go into follow-ups. Follow up 2 to 3 days after the initial invite. Do not wait. You don't want to wait a week or 2 weeks or a month. Even with an ignore, yes, maybe, etc., whatever, follow up. Then a week later, so 2 to 3 days, then a week, and then a month is when I follow up. If they ignore the message or they didn't see it, I say, hey, I saw you didn't see that last message. I know Facebook Messenger is not always the most reliable form of communication. Is there a better way to get into contact? I had great success and so much positivity come from our last group that I'm following up, and I want to make sure that I get into contact you so you don't miss out if you're interested. And I usually end that with a question as well. It says, is there another way to contact you if you're interested? And some of them will be like, no, I'm not interested. Or they'll go ahead and get back to you. And then in between the invite and that message, I try to interact with their page some, or, at least comment or like on something. And if they have said yes at all during this process, or yes, they want more information, I put them on notifications. So I go to their Facebook page and I click get notifications. So that means every time they post anything, I'll get a notification. So it's a lot easier to interact with their page. And I form between the follow-up. So if they post something about their kids, I'll send them a message and say, that looks so much fun what you guys are going to do for spring break. Can you tell me about that resort, or can you tell them whatever they posted that they're doing for spring break? And the next thing I do is everyone I invite, I also run events. So I invite them to the event as well, because the event has a little bit more information that they'll be able to see. I post transformations in the events and all that stuff as well. And I'll talk to you a little bit about events. I know I'm going really fast. But events I run to reach out to my friends who might not be liking, commenting, or somebody I might not have invited yet. Many of them will click interested, and then that they might be interested. I post 1 to 2 times a day on the event wall. 1 time a day is a transformation picture. I always start with myself. And this month, I'm going to ask some of my coaches and some of my challengers that have been challengers for a few months to maybe post their transformation picture and talk about what program they're doing. And I'm going to see how that goes, to kind of have, somebody else posting, not just me always posting on the event. And I run the events from my like page. If you have a like page, run them from your like page, but then you can invite your friends on your personal page. So that makes it so I hit both my like page and my personal page. And that will, I've found friends who, I hadn't invited yet or had told me no in the past, who clicked interested on the event, and then I messaged them and we started chatting like I talked before about, their goals and everything. So, there's no really secret to hitting Success Club. It's just the 3 vital behaviors and, reaching out and forming relationships. There's nothing really more to it. And that's all I have, Lindsay. If you have any questions.
Okay, well, fantastic. That was a ton of information. And with a lot of good stuff that you pulled from books that you read, I love that. You know, like when I was reading GoPro, I'm like, man, that's so awesome. Man, that's so great. That's so innovative. Yeah, of course. Why not? And then I don't do it. So the difference between me and you is you do it, right? And I'm pretty sure some listeners could relate that, you know, you hear these great things and then it's just the application of doing it and putting yourself so out there, vulnerable, to message people kind of unapologetically. And I did that last night, like when you were talking about, I messaged people how I messaged my best friend. And I just messaged this girl because she literally pops in my head all the time. And I just know some places that she is mentally with Beachbody and the whole idea of doing something so unconventional. And I just finally said, girl, I can't help but to think about you all the time. You know, wondering if you've ever, it was like a longer thing. I can't remember. It was pretty good, but I'll have to share it with you. But I was just like, hey, do you ever think about Beachbody, like how that could just look in your life? And she goes, actually, every single day for like a year now. So, you know, we're taking it a lot further now, but just had I not reached out, you know, proud of what I have to offer, I wouldn't have even known. You know, I would have to continue to wonder, is this girl ever going to join Beachbody in any capacity? Like, I know that she'd love to lose weight. I know that she'd love to make more money from home. Why wouldn't I message that person? So good job, Erin. Thank you so much for reminding us that we can just be proud of what we're doing and reach out. I also am just a huge proponent in posting on your Facebook and letting that speak for you, because I know a lot of people are like, I don't want to just like message people all the time. I don't want to be on the hunt. And I don't want you to be either. I want inviting to like bridge the gap between not doing anything and posting on your Facebook page, because you've got to, you know, reach out to those people, like my girl who never comments on anything that I post, but she's in my head. You got to reach out to those people because you never, ever know. Let me look over my notes that I starred. I love the kill the newsfeed. That came up a lot in our retreat the past couple of days. I've never done it. I don't feel that I have a problem with scrolling the newsfeed. I could probably scroll it more, just to engage with my coaches and team and potential people. But killing it during your power hour or your message sent, I love that. So thank you, Erin, for that little bit of nugget. And that's on Google Chrome, so that would be something for us to all look into. Yeah, that was great. Oh, and just like I was saying, you hear these great things, but you don't apply it. I think a lot of times going back and re-listening can help. So I think I'm going to encourage everyone to re-listen to this call, because there were so many like actual things to do, you know, like takeaways, action steps, actionable items. And we appreciate that, because I know I don't always deliver that. So I appreciate actionable steps. So please, guys, short call. I love that. I love keeping it 30 minutes to respect your time, but it gets you what you need. So I'm going to suggest that you follow this link. You know, it's the same link. You'll get the recording just as you tuned in. And if you didn't take notes, do that. If you didn't take a to-do, like what I do is I take notes and then I star the things that I'm going to do. So that way I can have some takeaways. And I suggest that you all do the same. Erin, thank you, sweetheart, so much for joining us today and hosting. Appreciate it so much. And to all the callers and viewers that got on, thank you and good luck. Start this month strong. You can do it. Be proud. Oh, and set that goal with a date. Just how Erin said, set your intentions for the month and shoot higher than you want. So if you're only going for 5, then go for 10, right? Because if you don't make it, at least you're getting your 5. If you go for 5 and you do the bare minimum and you don't make 5, then you don't make it at all. All right, so perfect. I'm gonna up my goal for sure. All right, guys, I love you, and I'll talk to you real soon. Thank you. Thanks, Erin.